Hi Sam, how are you?
Very good, thank you, Diego. Thank you for having me on.
Well, you have a big day on Monday for you.
hmm
You have another chance to keep writing history against Coventry, and I just want to know how you're preparing for it.
Um, well, look, it's just we're so excited, so excited. I mean, to be here in this stage of the competition is incredible, and it's it's something I don't want it to end because it's just so special. The media have all been into training yesterday, and we feel like famous footballers, so it's just incredible, and we've created history, and on Monday now we're gonna turn up and look to do it again.
Yeah. What's your mindset for Monday? I mean, you already did something wonderful, and it's not easy to do it twice. And
hmm
this time is also a bit more difficult because you're playing away. But at the same
hmm
time, you already prove you're capable of doing it. So how do you face it?
Yeah,
Mentally, how do you face it?
I think we can take huge confidence from the Ipswich game. We've done it already, so that gives us confidence going into the game. But we also know that it's going to be very difficult. Coventry are a side in the Championship that are in seventh place at the minute, are nearly in the playoffs, could potentially play in the Premier League next year. So we understand it's going to be very difficult, but we need to show that resilience that we showed against Ipswich. We might need a little bit of luck again, because we did ride our luck in the Ipswich game. I think they had 38 shots on goal, and we had two, and we managed to win. So that was crazy. But yeah, look, I'm sure on Monday the manager will have a plan, and we'll look to execute the plan the best way possible. And who knows what can happen? Hopefully we redo history.
Has it been kind of difficult to like keep focused on the game of the Monday or keep focusing after defeating Ipswich? I mean, like all that celebration, all that noise from the media,
hmm
from every side, that could
hmm
make you let your guard down. So does it take a mental work for you to keep the mind on the game?
Yeah, I think we're all human, so there is obviously that element of distraction, especially with the media and all the hype on social media. It's I suppose you're thinking about the league matches, but then in the back of your mind you're going, "Oh, we're in the FA Cup fifth round. That game's in a couple of weeks. We don't want to get injured or something, otherwise we'll miss that opportunity." So I think we have to try and be as professional as we can. This is all new to us, so having the media in and chatting to the mainstream TV shows, it can sometimes take away it can sometimes cause distraction. But like I said, we have to try and be professional. We have a job to do in the league. We're in the playoffs, but we understand if we lose a couple of games, then we can drop out of the playoffs. So I think from a realistic point of view, um, you know, the FA Cup will come to an end at some stage. We're probably not going to win it. We don't want it to be a case that when it's finished, we find ourselves maybe eighth in the league or ninth in the league. So I think it's important for us although there is distractions, we have to go into the game and try and win the matches. Because like I said, we don't want to drop out of the playoffs. We have a great opportunity to get promoted if we stay in the playoffs, and that's our aim come the end of the season.
Yeah. And how do you feel the fans are taking it? I mean, do you think they are full focused on the FA Cup, or they are actually like taking it really serious in the league? How do you feel they thinking?
Yeah, well, yeah. I think supporters want to win every game. So I can imagine that. For example, I support Chelsea. If Chelsea win in the Champions League, Well, they're not in the Champions League, but if they win in the FA Cup, I also want them to win in the league. Does that make sense? So I can imagine the supporters are they won't be happy when we lose in the league, but I think this FA Cup run that it is so special for everyone, so special for them as supporters. Last season we had a really bad season. We finished bottom of the National League. We got relegated, and you know, for them to have this moment now is amazing. And you want to see it, Diego. In the town centre, you go to the coffee shops and there's Maidstone scarves everywhere. There's people wearing the Maidstone tops. We've got ITV, BBC, like writing articles about us, and I don't think this has ever happened for the club before. So everyone's so excited, and yeah, we're all looking forward to Monday now. And like I said, I don't want this to come to an end. I want to live in this moment forever. So it's so special, and I can't really describe how I'm feeling because there's so many emotions to describe it. I can't find one to justify it. So it's just incredible, and we're all on this journey together, and hopefully now we can do something special again on Monday.
Yeah. Talking about Maidstone, it's a club that has lived like a roller coaster during its
Yeah.
existence, and including a bankruptcy and a reborn. And as you said, you got relegated the last season. How has
Mm.
it been to play for this team? I mean, during the time you have there,
Well,
how do
it
you feel about defense, and do you feel like that game against Ipswich like changed something in the club?
it's funny because I'm from Maidstone. I lived here. My family live here. So for me to have this moment with my boyhood club, my hometown team, is it's just incredible. I'm not sorry, I'm not playing for a team where I don't have a connection with it. I'm playing for a team that I used to watch when I was younger. My friends used to come to the games when we were younger. So I used to support the team when I was just a little kid. Um, so to do this now, to do this history with my club is so special, and you can feel it. You can feel the energy from the fans, from the town centre, from everyone. You can just feel how special now Maidstone has become, and hopefully this can help the club to go and push on now and become even bigger because the club has the social medias. We've gained so many followers. So now Maidstone is this big, everyone knows about Maidstone. Look, for example, you
Yes.
live in Spain and now you know about Maidstone United. I can imagine 6 months ago you probably didn't know who we were. So it's so incredible. And that Ipswich game has created so much attention. And it's just so special to be a part of it. And like I said, I'm doing interviews with TV channels in England. I'm doing interviews with do you know La Media Inglesa, the YouTube
Yeah.
channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nacho Gonzalez. We follow each other now on Instagram, sorry, on Twitter, and I'm gonna do an interview with him next month. He's gonna come to Maidstone and do an article. So it's just I've met so many people on this journey, so many amazing people, and it's just incredible because, like I said, 6 months ago, well, last year we were losing, we lost every game, and then we got relegated, and that was really tough for everyone involved in the club. It was a real down moment in the club's history, and to have this moment now is so special.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, like
It's
like
crazy.
you have a long career in Ireland and then going
Yep.
back to your club, and
Hmm.
like having that bad season and then coming and being part of the biggest moment in the club history.
I
Did
know.
you imagine something like that in any moment of your life?
No, no, no. It's funny because For the last 6 years, I've obviously been in Ireland, and I was really comfortable in Ireland. Really enjoyed my time there, and I played for some amazing clubs. You know, the last 2 years of my time in Ireland were so special, and I played for two fantastic clubs. At the time I had a girlfriend, and I remember just being so happy in that period because I was with her, I was enjoying my football, and but I always said it would be a regret if I didn't come back to England. Um, so last season I decided to take a risk and to come back to England, and there were times last season where I didn't think the risk had paid off. Um, I was actually I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. I was missing Ireland. I was missing my friends in Ireland, and that's strange because I'm sorry, I'm getting a text. Oh, sorry. Oh no, can you hear me?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Sorry, bro. Yeah, it was there were times last season where I did find it difficult, and like I said, I didn't think the risk had maybe paid off. But in the summer, I went to Marbella, and I spoke with my friends, and I said, look, I said I'm really finding it difficult. I miss Ireland, and I don't know what to do. I might go back to Ireland, and they said, Sam, but you're playing for your hometown club. You're with your family. Maybe just do pre-season, do the start of the season, see how it works, and then make your decision. And that was some of the best advice I got because now I'm the happiest I've ever been in my career. Um, we're doing, we're making history, and yeah, I suppose in life you have to take risks, and I took a risk, and it's paid off. And like I said, now if I stayed in Ireland, I wouldn't have experienced this. But because I stuck with it and I was brave, I've now got this fantastic moment, and now I'm talking to Diego from Spain. It's just crazy. So yeah, man, it's something. It's so special, and it's something at the end of my career I can sit down and I can be really proud of this moment.
Yeah, that's great. Now you're talking about Ireland, I wanted to know, like, if you felt it is different to play both in England and in Ireland, if you feel the football is different in both places, and or even just the living. Do you see any difference between both countries?
Yeah, I in terms of the football, the league that we play in, the National League South, is very direct. So there's a lot of long balls and stuff, which can be very difficult to play against because it's very physical. Um, this league has players who have played in the Football League, which is League Two, League One. Whereas in Ireland, the average age is a lot younger. The style of play is a lot different. So it is very difficult when I first came back to England, it was very difficult to make that transition. But you have to learn as quickly as possible. And then in terms of the living, Dublin, I lived in Dublin for a long time, and Dublin is such a beautiful place. So beautiful. That's why I found it very difficult. There's a lot of different cultures there, in the city centre. You've got Spanish people, you've got Brazilian people, you've got French people, and for me, I like that. I like different cultures and different languages, so that was pretty cool. And um, yeah, I suppose it is different, obviously, in terms of the living situation. Where I live, Maidstone, we're about 45 minutes from London. Sometimes I go into London to spend the day there, but not very often. So I do miss sort of living in a city, but on the flip side, I'm here with my friends, my family, and like I said to you, I'm right now I'm the happiest I think I've ever been in my life. So long may that continue.
Yeah. And how did it happen for you to move to Ireland and to play there?
So I had testicular cancer when I was 18. which was a very scary moment in my life. You know, to be told at 18 years of age you have cancer is very difficult, you know, and very hard to understand at that age. But I had an operation to remove my right testicle, and that was in September, so I could start training in November/December. And you know, in that time I was told that the cancer's gone. So as you can imagine, I was celebrating, I was going to the nightclubs and drinking. And my dad said to me, he said, Sam, he said, you do realize you want to become a footballer? And I said, yeah, that's right. So I had to stop drinking and stop partying. I had to start training again. And my agent at the time, he was very close with someone in Ireland. He was close with a manager, and he said, look, the pre-season starts in January. He said, why don't you go to Dublin, train for 3 weeks, get fit, and then come back to England and find a club? But I was so happy in my time in Ireland in the 3 weeks. Shamrock Rovers offered me a contract, a deal. And I said, yes. I said, 100%. I really want to stay here. And that's how it happened. So it's crazy, you know, how that sort of folded.
Yeah. And well, of course, that cancer was one of the key moments in your life.
Mhm.
How hard was it, first of all, facing that situation? You already said that it's of course difficult to
Yeah.
go through that, and then not giving
Mhm.
up with football and making it through here.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was so difficult. I still remember the moment like it was yesterday, and sitting down with the doctor, and the doctor said that I had a tumor, and um, eventually the tumor was found to be cancerous. That was so difficult, but I had my friends, I had my family who kept supporting me, and I always say it, my family, it must have been so difficult for them to see their child, their grandson. Um, it must have been so difficult to hear that I had cancer, but never did I see them cry, never did I see them upset. And I think their energy rubbed off on me. Um, and you know, I sort of said to myself, right, okay, well, let's do it. You know, if I've got cancer, it is what it is. It's lo que hay. And I was like, let's just face it. Let's just go for it. Whatever it is, I'll get through it, and then I can focus on my football again. Um, and I always remember I was during that, my motivation was obviously beating cancer, and then playing in the Premier League so I could raise awareness for the cancer. But obviously the Premier League never worked out. So it's just nice that the FA Cup now, with all the media attention, it gives me a chance to showcase my story and inspire people. And if I can inspire one person to check if they have testicular cancer, then that's my job done, and it'll make me very proud to do that.
Oh, that's great. When I have a last question about Ireland. Um,
Mhm.
what Ireland meant to your life? I mean, what did you learn playing and living there? You have talked a bit about that, but what did
Mhm.
you learn about that experience?
My time in Ireland was just incredible. I moved to Ireland when I was 18, so the start of my adulthood was in Ireland. You know, I moved there when I was young, so it helped me to grow up, and it helped me just to be more independent. You know, I was living with some players, so I was never with my family and stuff like that. And yeah, it helped me. Obviously, I grew as a footballer. I became a better footballer for it. I had some incredible moments. You know, playing in the Europa League qualifiers. For St. Patrick's, we won the FAI Cup in 2021 or 2022. I can't remember, but that was incredible to play in front of 38,000. win the cup, and I had my family there to have that moment with me. That was so special. But like I said to you there, the last 2 years were so incredible because I was so comfortable. Um, I honestly I saw my future in Dublin. My ex-partner and I we used to speak about buying a house in Dublin and starting our life in Dublin. So it was so special. But like I said to you, it was always it was always going to be a regret if I didn't move back to England. So I always had that in my head that although I'm happy here, I do want to move to England and try the English leagues. And like I said, I took that risk, and it's all paid off now. It's all worked. But I do still miss Dublin. I do miss my friends there. I miss the league as well. The league is so good. I have such good memories there. So I think at the end of the season in May, I'm gonna go back there and see my friends. And I've just started a podcast. I don't know if you've seen the podcast,
Yeah.
but yeah, I want to go and do a podcast out there with some footballers there as well. So yeah, although I haven't been back in like a year, I'm really excited to go back and see everyone and have a nice Guinness. The Guinness is I miss the Guinness a lot.
Actually, the next question was about the podcast. How are you going with that? How did you
Nice,
have?
Diego.
Yeah.
How did that start?
Yeah.
So so for me personally, I always wanted to start a podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts. The Wild Project. Have you ever heard the Wild Project?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I listened to that because that helped me improve my Spanish. So I always watch podcasts, and I said to my friend in July, I said I really want to start one. And as you do, we said, "Oh, that's a cool idea," but we never followed through with it. You know. So a few weeks ago, I mentioned it again. I said, "Boys, I really want to start a podcast," and they said, "Well, why don't we buy the equipment? That way, once we buy the equipment, we have to do it because we've spent all that money." So I said, perfect, absolutely perfect. So we bought the equipment. We spoke to a guy about doing the logo. Um, because it's me and my friends. We're from England, so we come under the two Brits, and the other co-host is American. So that's where the name come from. Two Brits, one Yank. Um, and then yeah, we recorded our first episode. That was all about the FA Cup run, and we promoted it. And yeah, we released our first video the other day, which has got I think over 1,000 views already on YouTube, which is incredible. So yeah, we're going to look to obviously get guests on in the future and talk about our life and our football and stuff. So it's really exciting, and everyone knows about it, which is fantastic. Yesterday I was doing the media with BBC, and they were saying to me, "Oh, we've seen your podcast." And Nacho from La Media Inglesa,
Yeah.
he texted me last night and he said, "I've watched 20 minutes so far. I'm going to watch the rest later." So it's just incredible. I've got someone from Spain watching my podcast, which is crazy. I can't even understand that. So yeah, we're so excited, and we look forward to making more episodes in the future.
Yeah. I watched it last night, I think, and
Mm.
it's looking good. Yeah.
Oh wow, I appreciate that, man. That's so
Yeah. Yeah.
cool. That's so cool.
Yeah. Well, I have one last question, and that will be about the game against Ipswich.
Mhm.
Um, at the moment of the game, Ipswich was 98 places above you, and they were living an
Yeah,
amazing moment in the league. They
yeah, that's
probably
right.
getting promoted. So in your opinion, what was the key for you to get that win, and what's the thing about that game or that night for the fans and in the town that you will remember the most in the next years?
So I think the biggest thing we had to when we went into the game, we believed. The manager always says believe, 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 believe. So you know, well, actually, the first 10 minutes, I think they hit the crossbar, the post, and I was like, oh my God, what's happening? Like, what is happening here? But like I said, we were resilient. We got lucky, and we managed to catch them twice on the counter. Lamar Reynolds scored a fantastic goal, and Sam Corn also scored a fantastic goal. And God knows how we won. I don't know how we won. I promise you, I don't know how. But we managed to win, and that moment as well. After the game, my granddad surprised me from Cyprus, and he came over and he was in the crowd um, for that moment. And when we won, I remember I ran onto the pitch and I saw my family in the stadium in the stands, and that was such a special moment for me. And that's something I'll remember now for the rest of my life. You know, the rest of my life, I'll always remember this. Um, but what was also special was that we caught the attention of so many people. So Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer, Ryan Reynolds from Wrexham, everyone was tweeting about it, about Maidstone, about little old Maidstone who play in the Conference South. So that was just incredible to know that other people had seen this and they've seen us play, and that was so special. But I think the moment for me was obviously playing against Ipswich, who are second in the championship, who have got the players Sarmiento and Brandon Williams, who plays for Man United, and Axel Tunzabi, who plays for Man United. You know, that was so special to play against them. And also personally, I learned so much. I learned so much from playing against them. I feel like I've become a better player now, which is fantastic, and that will help me in my career. But in terms of the memory that I have from that, it's obviously seeing my family in the crowd and seeing my granddad there, which was so special. And now for because my nan, mi abuela, she stayed in Cyprus, but she got jealous, so now she's come over to England to watch the Coventry game. So my nan and granddad they arrived last night, and they're gonna be there on Monday for the game, which is gonna be so special for me.
Well, that's great. That's really great.